Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Let's Play. We have finished our side questing for now. I did mention Melonni's quest actually in the end of the last episode. I thought it was a chain, it's just a single quest, so we're probably going to actually just do it here at the beginning of this episode. I went out the wrong way. And then continue on. Yeah, I probably could have just done it in the end of the last episode since the last episode was rather short, but I thought it was another whole chain like Cossa's was. I didn't realize it was just a single quest. So, we have to make our way back out to the village of Ronjock on the other side of the map. Oh, other side of this outpost. Which this outpost is actually pretty big. I know it's the main town, obviously, for the area, but pretty cool. Pretty big. Hope you all have been having a lovely week. It's been very nice here. It's actually been a little bit hot, but outside of that, been enjoying myself. So I believe it's from Elder Jonah. We've already read this whole thing, so let's see which one is it. I think it's Melonni's Meditations, yeah. Once a year, the devout followers of Melandru must commune with the natural world. Through prayer and meditation, they receive blessings of Melandru and further their talents. Now that she's returned, Melonni must undergo this ritual. Our crops depend heavily on water from the Ellen's tributaries for our deep wells. Lately, we have fallen on dry, tough times. Perhaps she could find the cause of the recent drought. To make matters worse, the lands have grown dangerous with Russia's increased military presence and the now hostile local flora and fauna. She protect Melonni while she makes her journey through the Marga Coast. Molly's a friend. I will protect her with my life. Send that chump Juno to protect Molly. He'll do anything for her. Oops. There we go. Yeah, so we're just going to make some quick trips around. Here's like a farm out here. Looking pretty dry. Our branch of the Great Alon flowed abundantly through here, but in recent times the water has receded and this pond is all that's left. I shall ask Melandru about this. Goddess of Melandru, giver of life, hear my calling, let my spirit flow with the currents of the Great Elon. Oh, this little area down here. Oh, I thought these were, these are unique things, apparently. They're corrupted nature, not just mandragores. I thought they were just more mandragores. The Elon is in much pain. Let's move forward and learn more. Okay. There's some like grain and stuff that they're harvesting here. Again, I always love the little touches in these areas. It's very cool. Very unique. Even though that fortress looks a little weird with the mountain right in it, but whatever. I remember spending much time in my youth climbing these rocks. It was during those times that I realized my great love for all the natural gifts Melandru has bestowed upon us. Give me a moment to reflect. Goddess of Melandru, protector of nature, hear my calling and encase my mind with the strength of these stones. Oh, you blockhead. Alright. Meow. Not a lot of fear of us dying, but these things are quite tanky. My excursion to factions has kind of power leveled me a little bit, so I technically probably should be a couple levels lower than this in this story. Which is weird because, I don't know, it doesn't feel like you get enough XP early on in this campaign. Like, it feels like they want you to be level 20, like, around this time, but it feels like I didn't get a lot of XP, or enough XP to get there. I was like level, I was like level 18, so maybe it's close. Definitely a little bit longer than factions to get to 20, but definitely shorter than prophecies. The land is greatly tormented, though I do not know why. Let us keep pace. There is one more location I must visit. Alright. Oh, also, the elder back there mentioned that the floral just started becoming aggressive recently. So I guess either these things over here, like the Jiracuda and stuff, either they're a relatively recent development, or I think what it means is they used to be like passive, basically. Similar to like maybe the ones in Istan, where they don't attack you on sight. That's obviously just because they're a low-level mechanical thing, but that might be why, like, you know, lore-wise. Here's the great big blue. The death of this tree is most peculiar. Through my lifetime, it always thrived, and now it's gone. I shall meditate on this. Goss, Melandra, keeper of balance, hear my calling, fill my soul with the knowledge of this ancient tree. Oh. This stuff spawned back here. Yeah, this quest isn't quite as interesting as Costa's. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit more to it, but no, we're just trying to figure out what's wrong. Maybe we'll learn something cool that I've never known before here. Make sure we're picking up these coins, though. Oh, here we go. Infectious Nightmare. This is a new mob. Well, not a new mob. I think this is one of the things that was with Kayet back on Istan, but like new as in a new for this quest. So maybe this is the source of our issues. Thank you for protecting me. Melandra has blessed me with knowledge and enhanced ability. She has answered our questions through earth, trees, and waters. A great darkness resides in the Ella, and the creatures we encounter are a direct result of darkness. Let us return to the village. I will inform Elder Jonah. Inform. It's actually really interesting, because that does hint that there's something... One thing that Korna kind of does, relatively... I don't say well is not what I mean, but does a good job of is like implying that there's more going on. Like we know Varesh has some connections to demons and stuff, right? Like there were some at that battle, and Kayet had some protecting her back in Istan when we killed her, but it does a good job at hinting that there's some really like dark powers that Vrish has conjured around the Cornin area. That's pretty cool. The Nightfall architecture has also really grown on me as I've aged. I used to not be a huge fan of like the visual style of Nightfall. I just thought it was okay, but now I quite like it. It's very unique. It's very distinct. You don't see this kind of like style in a lot of games. Alright, we're back, Elder Jonah. Indeed, this is a bad omen. A darkness in the land is most disturbing. Our way of life depends on water from the stream in our wells. It brings us food and gives us life. I pray to Melandri that this drought will pass. Yep. And that was it. That was our final, or that was the only quest for Melonni there. So now, we continue on with the main quest. And go talk to Koss, the boss. While I was in the garrison, I overheard talk of captured Sunspheres to the north of Nundu Bay. Rajas will meet us in the Ventus Cemetery to assist with the evacuation. We must proceed with caution, however. The guards use sentry traps to keep wild creatures from wandering in their perimeter. We must rescue as many Sunspears as we can and evacuate before Margaret ups our fare. So Margaret is an old Corsair contact of Koss's. I like that we also have smugglers here in the base who are collectors for us. I meant to clean our inventory and I didn't. Whoops. We'll take care of that later at some point. Narashi warned me about those spotters. They will alert the archers to fire us with longbows if we're not careful. So what I heard is kill the spotters. There's Koss. The Sunspears love Koss. That's one of those funny things that's like, they obviously want to use you, right? Like it's obvious that they probably like would have preferred if it was like, oh, the Sunspears are like, oh yay, the whatever, our leader has saved us. But because everybody's character names are different, they use Koss basically instead. They're like, yeah, because Koss is like, you know, your buddy, your second in command, your partner in crime. He's just kind of a chill dude, so it kind of makes sense that the troops would like him. But it's funny that it's relatively obvious that it's just kind of a excuse to not have to like use the character name, because having to program it for each individual character would be annoying. We don't want the captured Sunspear to die. Holy heck. He's taking so much damage. Am I doing this in hard mode? What's going on here? There's sentry traps ahead. We have to tread lightly around them. Koss, now is our chance. Oh, they're right there. And I stood near one. So yeah, those are sentry traps. They blow up after a short amount of time if you're near them and do damage to you. So you want to be careful being close to them. Kill off some wildlife on our way there. Stay in. Alright. I think this is the last group of captured Sunspears we need to rescue. Let's go for that priest. Looks like we have to deal with both to get these guys free. So it looks like we'll have to get... They have a spotter and they have a trap here. At least maybe they just have a trap. I don't see a spotter. I didn't see a spotter. We saved some people. Yay! Let's get up here and kill these guys. For Istan. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been back in Istan, hasn't it? Probably like... it hasn't been that long, but probably, you know, 7, 8 episodes at this point. I've been stuck in Korna. Here's the Vetna Cemetery. We got all our free captured Sunspears. Here's Commander Suha. Hiding from Varesh's troops isn't the worst thing in the world. Have you ever sat through one of Rogis's technical explanations? Pure torture. Hi, it's good to see you survive. Raj just made it out of Gandhara as well, hanging onto a barrel. He figured out a way to disarm those blasted traps the Corns have been using as well. Brilliant mind, that Sunspear. What's with the evacuation plan? It's not looking good. There are Corn troops everywhere. We need to evacuate our people immediately. Let me know when you and Koss are ready to muster the troops, then Raj will tell you how to disarm the traps. Alright. Need a little cutscene.
Okay, listen up. We lost the fleet at the Battle of Gandhara, but we're not stuck here. I've arranged passage back to Istan. There's one hitch. There's a cornered garrison between us and the ship that'll take us home.
Yeah, I love their reaction. They're like, oh, come on.
Maybe you'd better explain the plan.
We're going to lead you to the ships, but we're going to have to move quickly. The longer we're out in the open, the more likely the Cornins will come down on us.
Most of you are in no shape to fight. Just stick close and we'll get you home safe. Be sure to check with Rojas about the sentry traps. Other than that, we're ready to go.
Okie dokie. I just love the troops' reaction. They're like, oh, man. Dr. Rojas, good to see you, friend. And I think you got all your arms and legs intact after all you've been through. As a matter of fact, I managed to figure out how to disarm those pesky sentry traps. I'll show you how once we're on our way. That Corsair Margaret is waiting on the other side of the garrison. I'll stay behind you and direct any stragglers. Take this, you'll need it. Alright. With that, we have unlocked our next mission and our way home. But that is going to be the end of today's episode. I want to thank you all for coming out. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.